directed to where we need to be to learn and to grow. Or we wouldn't be there. And we think, well, I didn't need that. Yes, you did. Because we wouldn't have learned our lesson any other way. Everything is by right of consciousness. Nothing, I want to get this very clear, nothing is fair. Everything is by right of consciousness. What the mind of man and woman can conceive and believe, the mind of man and woman, what? Can achieve. Exactly. So as we gather together today on this glorious fourth Sunday of Advent, in our beautiful, radiant reading, that when Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life, no man enters into the kingdom without this energy. What that means is that's available to all of us. He never set himself up as the great exception. Always the great example. The works that I do, ye shall do also, and even greater works ye shall do than I do. Hey, that potential, that divine potential is available for each and every one of us. That as our humanness, as we let go of what no longer serves us, as we quit looking outside of ourselves and blaming everybody else and criticizing and judging, and even when things are done to us, remember, people do things for themselves. You may be in the firing range, but you are not the target. Do we understand that?
Yeah.
That there are times that we're in the firing range, but we do not take it personally. Well, at times we do, don't we? Yeah. At times we do take it personally, and we're hurt, and you know, rightly so. That's the human condition. We've got to discharge those emotions. We have to have a loving ear that we can share these things with, that will listen objectively and not join the pity party energy of it, but realize that we are growing and unfolding in miraculous ways. That the universe is calling us to step up to our true spiritual stature. There's a beautiful story about twins that were in the womb, and they were having a little conversation. And the one twin said, do you believe in life after delivery? And the other twin said, I think I do. I think there has to be more than this. And the other twin said, nonsense. We're all cozy. This is our world. He said, but don't you think that someday that we could move our arms and our legs out there in this other world and that we could eat? And the other twin said, oh, ridiculous. We have an umbilical cord. We can't release from the umbilical cord and be out in another world. This is how we receive our sustenance. Don't be ridiculous. And the other twin said, well, I keep having a feeling that there's something more than this, that there is life after delivery, and that our mother will care for us. And the other twin said, our mother? There's no mother. I can't see her. He says, no, we live within her. Oh, ridiculous. This is nonsense. We live in our little world. Out there it's dark, and I'm sure it's full of anxiety. We're so safe right here. Mother? I don't see a mother. Ridiculous. And the other twin said, in my silence, I can feel her. In my silence, I know she exists. In those quiet moments, I can feel her heartbeat. From the inside, as I feel my own heartbeat, I believe there is life after delivery. We are all here because we are the proven exemplars that there is life after delivery. That it is a new heaven and a new earth. And what that means, metaphorically, because we believe that the Bible is written in our sacred mythology, and that we are all the characters of the Bible. That metaphysically and energetically, that we resonate and we have a sympathetic vibration to every single character in the Bible. Just as a great man lived in India, and he said, I know that there are holy ones. And he said, I would like to meet a holy one. And so he started this trip to the highest mountaintop And as he went on his trip and went through all his experiences, he saw this amazing, almost like enlarged cabin. And he knocked on the door and he said, "I am here to see the Holy One." And the servant said, "Very good," and showed him in. And he walked through room to room to room and then out the back door. And the man said, "Where is the Holy One?" And he said, everyone you meet is the Holy One. The Course in Miracles states that our relationships are holy. Every encounter is holy. That every loving thought is true and everything else a call for healing or help, regardless of the form it takes. Just as the two twins in the womb asking, is there life after delivery? That from this world, the evolution of our world, the veil is very, very thin. When my sister made her transition, she took her own life. And she was a drug addict and an alcoholic and just could never get it together. And she would get into AA and she'd be doing great. Now remember, we cannot accept any more love than our container can hold. That we have an emotional, spiritual container. If we do not love ourselves, in fact, I've been to Africa 3 weeks later, this is November, 3 weeks later I'm in Norway. I've been on a lot of airplanes, and I've seen a lot of those wonderful flight attendants in my day. I was a stewardess when I was 20. In those days it was coffee, tea, or me. And so I know the drill very well. And when she takes out that mask, what does she say? You put it on yourself first, so then you can serve others, whether they are elderly or children or whatever. You put that oxygen mask on yourself first, so that you have the presence of mind to serve others. So when we love ourselves first, when we acknowledge that I am created in the image and likeness of God, that there is a magical element in that. And we're talking about the magical element of the energy field here today. That when we begin to love ourselves and we begin to expand our heart center and love ourselves more, we have much more of a capacity to love others. But if we have a very low self-image, forgetting that we're created in the image and likeness of God, that it is not only good, it's what?
Very good.
It's very good. And I truly believe that. But when we are not feeling good about ourselves, when we're feeling a sense of that we're inferior, that others are better than us, and all the things that many of us have been raised with, when we do not have a container of self-love, it's not going to spill over into the energy field. So we draw the larger circle and include whoever it is in our life or in the energy field that is operating other than from their Christ consciousness. I think I told you I was in revivals. I was getting a basket one day, and a man next to me, he sneezed, and I said, "God bless you." And he said, "Oh, God, there's no God. What do you mean, God bless you?" I said, "Then Buddha bless you, or whoever needs to bless you. It doesn't really matter, does it? You've been blessed. Just receive it." And I laughed. So energetically, not all of us can accept the blessings of life. We don't really believe there's life after delivery, that the energy field is dark. And you know what? We're right, because it is done unto us as we believe in our hearts. So as we talk about the magical quality of life today, and the magical element is realizing that there is a magician within each of us that can transform the routines of life and our daily round into celebrations of life and love. Transforming the routines of work, the daily round, the things we get up in the morning, that we go to bed at night, we get up in the morning. The ancients called that samsara. It's called the daily round. That there is a very fine line between the daily round and what? Nirvana, which is the highest state of heaven that we can attain to. So there is a very, very fine line between samsara, the daily round, and our willingness to transform the routines of work into celebrations of life and love. We have that magical quality within us. And is it magic or science, it was once asked. And I was doing some research and I saw online that you can now buy a magic card for $10. You send it to this place, they bless it, they send it back to you, and you can be a card-carrying magic holder. And it said that this card gives you flexibility, it gives you energy, it gives you more life, and it gives you abundance. Can you imagine? You've got and it's the size of a credit card. And I read it, and it's only $9.95. I thought, wow, this man's getting rich on people that think something outside of them is going to do it for them. But you know what? They had a video of people who put the magic card in their pocket, and suddenly, somebody kind of had arthritis, and they could do this, and then they could do this, and he was doing all these demonstrations on the YouTube. It was fantastic. And you know what? The power of intention. The power of suggestion. You put this in your hand, I've blessed it. It's full of magic, it's full of energy, it's full of light. You're automatically going to feel better. Somebody is blessing you and acknowledging you. And it cost you $9.95. What a deal to feel better. It's cost us more in many other situations, hasn't it? And I got I was so amused. And I was laughing. And another part of me thought, who is ever going to do this? But I bet they are. I bet a lot of people are doing that. Just getting their magic card and going out in the world and feeling good about it. I'm more flexible, I'm stronger, I've got more clarity because I got my magic card. And I'm going to keep that little magic card in my pocket. It's a trigger symbol to feel better. And if you don't want to feel better, you never will. Remember that, Charlie Brown keeps doing what he always did and expecting a different result. You know what that is? Having Lucy with what? The football. And she just never does. It's just amazing how that works. She just takes it away. He falls on his back and says, good grief. I think, Charlie, when are you going to get it? Honey, you've been doing this for 50 years with Lucy. It's time to get it. It's time to create a new story. That magical quality of life is within you to transform what you're experiencing at this moment to where you want to be. The Magi followed the star in the east. That star is within us. Bethlehem is the holy city. It's the place of consciousness that is within us. The child is born within the manger of our own hearts and souls. So it's a new life. It's a new energy. The most wonderful people that live the longest are the most childlike. I'm not saying childish. Childlike, that have remembered that there is a golden child within them that is full of awe and wonder, and the lion shall lie down with the lamb, and a little child shall lead them. That child is within each and every one of us. And magic came from the Magi. These were the sacred magicians, the physicians. These were the astronomers, and the astrologers. And there was a sacredness to life. There is a sacredness in each and every day of our lives. So look at how the universe is supporting me in this. See, whenever something like this happens, it's like the universe creates this amazing energy field and says, yes, we agree with you, Dr. Sharon. We're with you, Dr. Sharon. We know that this is the truth for us. So if it's a movie next door, we bless them as well. But I just know that God is our source, that energetically that we're allowing life to do what life does best. I love a little accompaniment. It's just great. And to flow with it, because this is how it is, folks, right? If you were falling asleep just then, you just woke up right then, right? And thought, oh, I suddenly have music. Is it my imagination? No. It's the universe affirming that we're on the right track. And the dew of little things, the heart finds its morning and is refreshed through the surprising medium of sound and sights and energy and aliveness. I love how we are affirmed by life. And so I'm going to leave you with a story that I absolutely loved. And that story is about a friend of mine, my Facebook friend. Her name is Pam Smith. And she said that she was in the supermarket walking down the cereal aisle. And she said she saw a little boy, and he was in a cart, and he had big swollen eyes. And he had been crying. And And she said, I established eye contact with him. And when I established eye contact with him, I said, how are you? And he kind of put his head down, and she said, are you having a Merry Christmas? And he put his head down a little bit more. And she said, as she walked through, she heard the father, and the father was kind of berating him in a condescending way. And the father was saying, you know, you have pressed my boundaries, and I've had it with you. And she said it was like this long train of energy. It was this long train of anger, and you're really putting the little boy down. And she said that she looked into the father's eyes and said, hi, Merry Christmas. And he said, Merry Christmas. And she said, boy, you're so brave to be out here in the middle of everything, you know, buying your groceries and with your little boy. And actually, he looks just like you. And he said, oh, well, thank you. And she said that the whole energy in that moment shifted when she established eye contact, when she could come from her heart. And she said, at first I was feeling condemnatory about the father, but I let the magic of the moment come in. And when I let the magic of the moment come into the energy field, everything transformed, right? Right? Don't you love how it works? That we can be puffy-eyed and crying one minute, and the next moment we're smiling. What's the name of this song?
Sweet
Caroline is playing, and we're dancing in the aisles. I love how it works. And you know, in all the years that we have been here, which is actually before my time, we've been here, 14 years. This has never happened, so I'm going to go with it. I'm going with it. I think it's fabulous. I say yes. Sweet Caroline is with us today, and energetically, where are we going? Higher. We are going higher yet. Where are we going? Higher yet. Where? Higher yet. And that makes all the difference. Thank you, each and every one. Thank you, Father, Mother, God, for the opportunity to have music and accompaniment during my talk. Just love how that works. And I thank each and every one of you who have been such a vital part of Interfaith Spiritual Center worldwide, that have given of your time, energy, money, and resources so that our doors stay open, so this message goes out to the World Wide Web and to Facebook. And I want to say to all our friends on the World Wide Web and Facebook that you have sent in your donations as well. We thank you, we love you, and we acknowledge you. And guess what? We're here for you. Where are we going? Higher yet. Where? Higher yet. Where? Higher yet. And so it is. God bless you.